This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TUS Television. I am Mustafa Ajinamo, and you're watching TUS News Update. We begin with the State of the Nation on insecurity on Tuesday. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Attahiru, at the end of the Chief of Army Staff Combined First Quarter Conference and Nigerian Army Operations Retreat 2021 in Abuja, said the Nigerian Army is making progress in its effort to address the myriad of security challenges confronting the nation. The Chief of Army Staff said the Operation Retreat particularly afforded the Nigerian Army the opportunity to appraise all their ongoing operations in different parts of the country, such as the operations against the activities of Boko Haram, ISWAP terrorists, indigenous people of Biafra, armed banditry and militancy, among other violent crimes. He added that the conference afforded him the opportunity to communicate his vision to have a Nigerian army that is positioned to professionally defeat all adversaries in a joint environment, while also outlining his strategic plan for year 2021 to principal staff officers, corps commanders, as well as field commanders. And still on security, the Lagos State Civil Society Partnership for Development, LASCOP, has decried the deteriorating state of Nigeria's security architecture. Speaking in an exclusive interview with TUS Television, the Board of Trustees chairman of the group, Ayo Adebusoye, blamed majority of the insecurity challenges being faced by the country on the failure of its government to establish state and local police to increase the reach of law enforcement officers. He also added that Nigeria is the only country practicing federalism without an established state police, which he added would have stopped majority of the insecurity breach the country currently faces. The Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the President, Malam Garba Shehu, has said that President Muhammadu Buhari began his yearly medical trip to London even before he came into office as Nigeria's president in 2015. He added that President Buhari can work from anywhere and attend to document, as he is internet savvy. Shehu said this on Tuesday while addressing newsmen at the departure wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, just after Buhari's departure of the country for London for medical checkup, to be back in the second week of April. The president is looking at a window of opportunity that has opened with the Easter holiday. It is a much relaxed period for everyone. This is something he has done for so many years, even before he came to office. Every year, he had appointed with his doctors and he went there to do it. The only anomaly this time around is that COVID prevented this kind of thing to hold in 2020, so he has lost some period. Buhari is embarking on a medical trip at a time members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors have declared their intention to commence a strike on April 1st. And the Minister for Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Tallen, has called on female executives to emulate the Executive Director of Nexim Bank in empowering more women. She made this call at an event organized by Nigerian Export-Import Bank Nexim titled Unlocking Export Market Opportunities for Women and Youth. At the event, which took place at Abuja on the 30th of March, the minister, however, stressed on the importance of women showing support for each other, adding that it has a multiplying effect.
I want to especially call on all chief executives, female chief executives in our financial institutions to see what our sister, the executive director, Nexim Bank, Stella Okotete, is doing. I know you are doing your best in your various financial institutions, but it is time for women to rise up to the occasion. Poverty is the greatest disease that is inflicting women, and when you empower a woman, you are empowering the family, the society, and the country at large. Whatever a woman gets has a multiplier effect, and it spreads to the family and the.
The federal government has declared Friday, April the 2nd and Monday, 5th April 2021 as public holidays to mark this year's Easter celebration. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government in a statement signed by the Press Director of the Ministry, Mohammed Manga. Aregbesola urged Christians to emulate the attributes of forbearance, forgiveness, kindness, humility, love, peace, and patience, which were demonstrated by Jesus Christ. The minister also urged them to use the occasion to pray for the peace, unity, and progress of the country. He assured that no stone will be left unturned as the federal government deals with kidnapping, armed banditry, and other crimes and criminality, which he says is perpetrated by enemies of Nigeria. In a bid to further explore the largely untapped economic potentials in the dairy industry in order to reposition it for optimal productivity and ensure food security and sufficiency in the country, stakeholders converged in Abuja for a two-day national discourse on the dairy policy on March 30th, 2021. Livestock farming, including dairy, contributes about 1.9% to Nigeria's agriculture, and the agriculture sector in Nigeria presently contributes about 25% of the gross domestic product. Speaking at the National Dairy Policy Stakeholders Engagement in Abuja, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Sabo Nanono, said there is a need to harness the potentials in the dairy sector in order to address some socio-economic and national herd management issues. While expressing regret, he noted that Nigeria spends about $1.5 billion importing dairy products annually.
Let us understand that whatever policy that we are going to come out with must address this huge import bill of about $1.8 million, that in $1 billion worth of imports of milk and other related milk products.
In delivering their goodwill messages, other stakeholders present at the event had this to say.
We align with the ambition of the ministry. We are very excited with what we've seen in the new dairy policy, very encompassing, very broad appeal to the policy in terms of content and action. I would like to work with you to ensure that we implement this policy in the matter. Thank you very much.
It is not a good direction for a nation Nigeria that we cannot be able to supply enough milk for our own consumption, as well as supply the daily capacity utilization for the dairy companies. So this very occasion here is not only timely, but very, very, very important.
In the area of livestock production, we have been involved in Bobi. We have 30,000 hectares allocated to 5 farms. We have WAMCO, Friesland WAMCO Campina. We have Hair Consulting. We have the state government taking part. We have Neon Dairies, She Limited, to mention a few. The point I just want to bring out is that we are deeply interested in seeing the emergence of a vibrant.
This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TUS Television, and you're watching News Update. News from across Africa and the international scene. When we return, to stay. Welcome back. Across Africa, South African President and President of the African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa, has told members of his party they must resign within 30 days of being charged with corruption or face suspension. Ramaphosa was made this known while addressing an executive meeting of the African National Congress.
The NEC reaffirmed the resolutions of the 54th National Conference on ANC credibility and integrity, as well as decisions of the NEC meetings. All members who have been charged with corruption or other serious crimes must step aside within 30 days, failing which they should be suspended in terms of Rule 2570 of the ANC Constitution. The meeting emphasized that the 30-day period will be used to enable the implementation of the decision in line with the guidelines, and this is not for the review of the decision.
Ramaphosa has been at odds with the ANC Secretary General, Ace Magashule, who has denied corruption charges against him and has refused to step aside. The president pledged to clamp down on corruption in the ANC after becoming party leader in 2017. Courts, tribunals and all registries in the 5 Kenyan counties that President Uhuru Kenyatta declared COVID-19 infested have been closed by Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, saying all operations will remain suspended until further notice. She noted that matters requiring a hearing and filing during the period will be treated virtually. Presiding judges and heads of stations and divisions, in consultation with their bar, bench, and court users committees, shall issue guidelines to address any unique issues arising in their jurisdiction, she said. The other 42 counties will adhere to the COVID-19 safety protocols that were issued in March last year by the retired Chief Justice and the National Council of Justice Administration. We move to the global scene. On Tuesday, Chinese state media reported that the country's top decision-making body, the NPC Standing Committee, has finalized the sweeping overhaul of Hong Kong's electoral system, drastically curbing democratic representation in the city as authorities seek to ensure Patriot rule the global financial hub. This amends the annexes of Hong Kong's constitution, the basic law. The number of directly elected seats in parliament has been cut almost by half, and prospective members of parliament will first be vetted by a pro-Beijing committee to ensure their loyalty to the mainland. Opposition figures say the changes are designed to keep anyone who is not aligned with Beijing's rule out of parliament, and also to ensure only patriotic figures can run for positions of power. But Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam said there is not a one-size-fits-all way of doing democracy, adding the vetting committee will not screen people out based on their political views, but rather weed out any non-patriot. The first vote under the changes will elect members to Hong Kong's Legislative Council to be held in December. And the World Health Organization and 23 world leaders came up with the idea to create an international treaty which will help the world tackle unforeseen health emergencies such as the coronavirus pandemic now affecting the world. The aim of the international treaty will be to ensure that vaccines, medicines and diagnostics for pandemics are universal and accessible. The idea was proposed in November 2020 by Charles Michel, the chairman of European Union leaders at a summit. According to a statement released by the world leaders, the main objective of such a treaty would be to strengthen the world's resilience. The treaty also would help in creating better alert systems, data sharing, research, production and distribution of vaccines, medicines and diagnostics. The treaty would also state that the health of humans, animals and the planet at large are all important, connected and should lead to shared responsibility, transparency and global cooperation. In business, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohamed Nanono, Tuesday during the National Dairy Policy Stakeholders Engagement held in Abuja, disclosed that Nigeria's dairy product importation stands at $1.5 billion. According to him, the consumption of aggregated and bulk milk is less than 20% of Nigeria's local potential. Also, milk production accounts only for 13% of West African total production of the commodity, while the country produces 0.01% of global dairy import. He added that the per capita consumption of milk is 8 liters per year, representing very low consumption levels when compared with the global averages of 44 liters of milk. As a result, the long neglect of the livestock sector has put a lot of burden on the import bills of the country. About $5 billion worth of food is imported yearly into the country, out of which milk and dairy products account for about $1.5 billion. Hence, the annual dairy consumption is met by 60% import and 40% local production. Meanwhile, the minister disclosed efforts made by his ministry to enhance the growth of dairy products as they present is in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Raw Material Research Development Council, Central Bank of Nigeria, Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning and the private sector to promote and develop the local dairy industry. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. We'll go on a short break. More stories when we return. Just stay. You're welcome back. The International Monetary Fund has hinted on its plans to revise its 2021 outlook for Nigeria's economy upwards from 1.5% in the next round of its projection by April as a result of recent positive development in the country's economy. The IMF had earlier projected that Nigeria's economy would experience growth by 1.5% in 2021, a prediction that was variously disputed by economic analysts over a faster than expected economic growth in the IMF in a recent report titled Nigeria Economic Outlook and Priorities, hinged the proposed reversal on the recent fourth quarter 2020 data, which is said has shown growth in some sectors, especially the ICT and agriculture sectors, boosted by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the rise in the Purchasing Managers Index report for the quarter, among others. And to entertainment, Afrobeat icon Seun Kuti has signed a management contract with Nitin Factory Management, the artist management division of the venue and concert company Nitin Factory Entertainment. According to the company manager, Aaron Johnson, Seun Kuti, like his father Fela, is more than just a musician or composer. He's an artist who speaks truth to power and won't compromise his values or beliefs. Being a part of Seun's team is an honor, and I'm excited for all the projects he has, from albums with Egypt, 80 to collaborations with other artists. Seun has a lot to show the world, he added. And in sports, Nigeria Super Eagles finished off the qualifiers for 2021 Total African Cup of Nations unbeaten with 14 points following a 3-0 victory over Lesotho in their final Group L match at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos State on Tuesday. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen was the toast of the Super Eagles, scoring one and assisting another. Osimhen opened the scoring in the 23rd minute, while Ogenekaru Etebo doubled the Nigerian team lead in the 51st minute. Paul Onachu, who came in for Osimhen in the 74th minute, scored 9 minutes after. The Eagles finished the campaign with a runaway 14 points, winning home and away against Benin Republic and Lesotho, and only dropping points against Sierra Leone, and maintained an unbeaten record, 4 wins and 2 draws. Next up for the Eagles is the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifying race, which started the end of May. And the Basketball Africa League Monday announced that the league's historic inaugural season will tip off Sunday, May 16 at the Kigali Arena in Kigali, Rwanda, with 12 teams from across Africa competing in the new professional league.
Today, I am excited to announce that the inaugural season of the BAL will tip off on May 16th with the final game on May 30th. 12 teams from 12 different African countries, 26 games, all in one location, the world-class Kigali Arena in Kigali, Rwanda. Our goal is to build a top-flight competition that will reflect the continent's talent, passion, and love for the game of basketball. With our partner FIBA, we created the Basketball Africa League to provide a platform for elite players from across the continent to showcase their talent at home and inspire more young boys and girls to play.
The 12 club teams from 12 African countries that will compete in the inaugural BAL season are Algeria, Angola, Cameroon, Egypt, Madagascar, Mali, Morocco, Mozambique, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, and Tunisia. Champions from the national leagues in Angola, Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, and Tunisia earned their participation in the inaugural season. The remaining 6 teams, which come from Algeria, Cameroon, Madagascar, Mali, Mozambique, and Rwanda, secured their participation in 3 BAL qualifying tournaments conducted by FIBA Regional Office Africa across the continent in late 2019. And that is TOS News Update on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on the network. I am Merciful Ajinamo. Thank you for watching.